Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 9 American Premium Battleship, Missouri. She has 78,300 health, a top speed of 34.6 knots, that's with a signal flag, 9 406mm guns, 20 secondary guns, a surface detect of 14.1 kilometers, and 100 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increased AA range, improved main battery accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, basic firing training, expert marksman, superintendent, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Warriors Path, and this is an Anchors Aweigh. Now, for those who don't know what Anchors Aweigh represents, it's 2 games. It's 2 complete games. It's not some trickery. It's 2 Missouri games that I wanted to share with you, and the reason I haven't done Anchors Aweigh in a while is, honestly, I cannot, well, initially I was not comfortable streaming and creating content in the same amount as I did previously. Now we see an enemy Z46. He's trying to capture A point, and this Missouri is going to do some work this game. But not on that shot. We missed the target. And you might recognize the camouflage I'm using. I'm using the Gamescom 2016 camouflage. Why am I doing it? Because it gives you 50% extra credit income. Credit income on a Tier 9 premium? Yeah, and I also have the signal flag. So let's just sum it up. This is my income build. I used the Gamescom 2016 camouflage, if you were lucky enough to get it from the Santa or you had some remaining. It's a great way to increase the income. Along with the signal flag, I basically can just play this ship and repeat the 500,000 credit earned per battle requirement for the Santa convoy, you know, the one that gets you like 5 tier 6, and it gives you the Graf Spee and the Tirpitz special New Year's camouflage. That's all I do to make sure I guarantee 500,000 credits, and the income is great. You should really try and force the income so you can get through these fast and get extra income. And speaking of income, we just got 9,300 points of damage on a salvo against a destroyer. We got pretty lucky there, and I'm not going to act like it was all skill. Thankfully, the friendlies are able to scout out torpedoes. I'm going to drop my speed and turn into the torpedoes. Not only turning, but also dropping will scrub a ton of speed off, unless, of course, you're a Brit. The British have some weird acceleration through turning. You need to really try your best to drop the speed if you have a chance. The enemy Z46, he's hidden. Fletcher also sent. I believe the Burgundy is using hydroacoustic. It is definitely protecting my battleship and allowing me to be aggressive. And, oh, there's an enemy Gneisenau now, showing a perfect broadside. I don't want to show too much side to him. It doesn't really matter. He missed completely. Oh, man. Poor Gneisenau. You only get 6 shots, man. You can't miss it like that. Maybe he felt like I was going to continue forward at an angle. I don't know. Either way, we're going to try and return fire. And let's see how much we do. Midship on the German, 14,000. That's about where I'd like it to be. And the enemy Fletcher is still in the area. I could use my radar. Honestly, I should use my radar. He's barely within range. I think the radar for the Missouri is something like 8.9 kilometers. The Fletcher is obviously not in radar range anymore. And the Gneisenau, he looks to be trying to set up torpedoes. Again, midship, and again, a lot of damage. And I was going, it's going to be one of those games, right? Every single salvo hits for a truckload. 20,000. Who needs a Citadel? I'm hitting everything on that guy. And I do mean everything. Oh, man, that's a lot of damage. Can we finish him off? 3-shot this guy? He's close. He's within range. There's also friendly torpedoes as well. And once again, midship, we only get 12,000. Friendly is able to finish off the target. I'm not really complaining. Now, I have swapped in the AA protection stuff. I feel like that's the identity of the American battleships. Eventually, it's going to be relevant. It isn't in this game. Yeah, I know. Just let me know. I think I swapped in the AA range for this game, and it was like, of course. There's going to be another game where I don't have the increased AA range module, and we will be going against a high-tier aircraft carrier. And that's going to be interesting. But first, let's try and knock out this enemy cruiser. So, lead him, little gun to press, and yeah, I'd say that's exactly where I needed that shell to go. 20,000 points. Oh, how embarrassing. The enemy Izmo has pulled a Notser. And he's broadside. Oh, you just can't do that. And we, of course, wiped out the enemy cruiser, and I would like to wipe out the enemy Izmo. We try and set up. I try to set up with the expectation that he has moved away and he's going to move forward. So I lead him a little bit in front of him, and we get 24,000. It's one of those games. Everything is hitting exactly where you want it. I can't complain that I didn't get a Citadel. I got 24,000. The guy's dead if I get a Citadel. And, oh, how embarrassing. He pulled a Notser again. He's going to have to go in reverse, so we're going to lead him in reverse. Waterline shot. Come on, Citadel. Punish him. He needs to be punished. This is just unacceptable. And yes, 2 Citadels, 28,000 damage. It's 8 minutes in this match. Not even 8 minutes in, and I've already done 133,000 points of damage. Oh, I was going to set up for the Prince Eugen, but you got to take out the destroyer. And I'm going to set up my shot. Friendly is engaging. Friendly is actually landing a lot of shots, and by the time I fire, he takes him out. Good job, Fletcher. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to do. You know what, Notser, what you should do is you should use the heal. Yes, the heal. I should have done that prior to that shot. And instead of the Prince Eugen, I could go after the enemy Atago. He's a little bit closer and so close to capturing that base, but the enemy interrupts my ability to capture it. So I'm not even going to try to stay in the capture. I'm going to focus on kills. So I elevate the gun and lead him in the direction he's headed, and honestly, that's probably the first, well, the Z-46, we missed on the Z-46, but that was like 12 kilometers. That's the first shot where, yeah, that was a bad shot. That was just a little bit too less of a lead. The elevation looked good, but I needed to move the gun a little bit over to the left side. And can we compensate? He's trying to turn back. Oh, this is going to be bad for him. The prediction that he will flatten out. We fire with the gun depressed, and yeah, predictably, I mean, just look at the game, look at the way it's going. Predictably, we Citadel the guy and we take him out. It's one of those games where you're just on fire, you know. He's heating up from NBA Jam. Yeah. Every shot is going in. Every shot is taking the target out or doing massive damage. And it's just so easy how all this is working out. Now, I was a little skeptical about this target. Is he coming towards me? Is he going away? So I depress the gun. I pause for a second. Maybe I didn't need to pause for a second, but I mean, 13,000 high caliber and Confederate with that shot. It worked out in our favor. I could have sped up the firing probably 3 to 5 seconds. I could have easily have aimed a little bit quicker there. The friendly battleship is in point-blank range with the Fletcher, and he's taking torpedoes, unfortunately. The Prince is still visible, and he's moving forward, and I just want to punish him. He's still, I mean, any cruiser you see, you just want to punish, right? You just, oh, he's turning, so I sort of draw in the shot, hoping that his momentum will carry him into the shot, and we do 2,000. We get a normal penetrating shot. It probably would have worked out better if I would have held my fire and allowed him to finish his turn, rather than trying to hit him mid-turn like that. I don't want to run into the island, obviously. That's why I'm looking left to right. It's like, yeah, let's not run into the island. Also want to maintain good angling against enemy battleships. That's really the only way we can throw this way. And we've done an amazing amount of damage, yet our team still needs us to do good damage. We haven't captured the base at all. Friendlies are able to finish off the Prince. We only did, what, 4,000 with that salvo. Remember, the Fletcher is still in the area, and I do have radar, so I could theoretically go after the Fletcher if I get any tell whatsoever that he can see me or he's within a certain amount of distance. We have friendlies on the eastern flank attempting to capture the sea point, and they ran into the other destroyer. So we know exactly where all the enemy ships are. I just need that Fletcher to show himself so I can kill him. And then I can transition over to the Iowa, which is the remaining. The Iowa is basically a Missouri. Their AA is probably like 1 point better, and there's probably 0.3 faster rudder or some crappy little change. They're basically the exact same ship. One has radar, the other has the ability to load the aircraft, either the catapult fighter or the scout aircraft. I prefer the radar. It gives me a chance to aggressively get close to smoke and deny them that ability to hide. The enemy Iowa does 13,000. He does a great job. I do 15,000. Actually, no, I do 17,000. So we're up on him by about 4,000. The friendlies take out the enemy Fletcher, and I think he's going to take some torpedoes. Nope, the torpedoes do not hit. So I could be aggressive, I could use all my guns, or what I could do is angle and only use my front two guns. I'm a little bit aggressive, and it cost me 10,000. I only get 8,000 out of the salvo, and I probably should have just stayed bow on, used the front two guns, absorb the shot, and then open up. We basically have the exact same rate of fire. 30 seconds, give or take 1 or 2 seconds, depending on what module he's using. And in the stream, I was going, you know what? We basically are going to win this game. There's no way we're not winning this game. What's the best way to end a game? I would argue that the best way to end a game is with a ram. Yes, a ram kill is the way it has to go. And I was a little afraid that he might die to all the torpedoes, and he only takes 2. And I'm not going to fire my guns. I don't want anyone else to get the kill. I want this to end in a ram. And obviously, charge! Do it! Do it! And it was worth it. It's always fun to ram damage the final target. I actually don't ram as much as I would have hoped. But the game, it was an okay game. It was an amazing game for me. Confederate, devastating strike, high caliber, 4 kills, 220,000 points of damage done. We even assisted in a base capture, 1.4 million credits earned. 4 citadels, 2,552 base XP. Almost every kill was concentrated on the top 3 on our team, which is interesting. And plus we had an AFK Iowa. 194,000 in my main battery. 3,000 in secondaries, which is honestly kind of surprising, and then 23,000 in ram damage. This game was amazing to be a part of. Everything just clicked. Every single salvo went exactly where we wanted it to go. It was such a massive amount of damage, and we're not done yet. We're going to go to a game which is a little bit closer. We're also in the Missouri, and we are on the map. Oh, what's this map? Loop! Loop is the map, and as you can see, it was on Christmas. I have the same roughly build. I don't have the extended AA range. Instead, I believe I have faster turret traverse. So the gun rate of fire is going to be 31.5 versus 30. It can make a difference. I'm very much aware. I have transitioned over to the AA protection. This is a game where we're going up against a high-tier aircraft carrier. So I'm moving forward towards Sea Point. We're already detected, so something within 14.1 kilometer range is detecting me. Probably a destroyer, probably the only other destroyer for the enemy team. I decide to fire at enemy cruisers in the distance. They are right at my max range. It's not an easy shot. And are we going to get lucky enough to hit something? The Iowa looks like he's backing up. Ooh, we clipped something. Maybe the Iowa? I don't know. We did 4,000, which is more than I thought I was going to get. It's okay, though. The enemy aircraft carrier is sending what looks to be his fighters, his dive bombers, and possibly torpedo bombers my way. And oh, yep, look, enemy torpedo bombers. Yeah, great. Just what I always wanted. So I set it as a primary and I try and turn into them. The best I can do. I don't have the range that I would have hoped, and it looks like the first salvo we're able to turn inside. Salvo. The first drop. The second drops are not going to be as successful. I'm still trying to rotate, trying to avoid the torpedoes. We're going to take one on the nose and one on the stern side of the ship. It causes a flood. I put the flood out. I also use a heal, and I see that there's an enemy destroyer trying to fire on me, so I use my radar, hoping that the 4 ships that are behind me can engage the destroyer and push him away. Get away. No one likes you.
Problem solved, sir.
But so far, we've taken a lot of damage and we haven't done anything. It's a completely opposite game compared to the previous game. And if I was rocking the improved AA range like I was in the previous game, I probably would have been able to protect myself rather well. The Iowa, the Missouris, the North Carolina, the Montana, you can't fault them for their AA protection. It is the best in the game. Very, very difficult for enemies to come close to it, or enemy aircraft to come close, and it looks like the destroyer sent out his torpedoes. He's the only destroyer that could be over here. We saw the other destroyer, and he's dead on the western flank. So that's it. We know most of the enemy team is passive in the back. This enemy Arpeggio Takao looks to be pretty stationary, so I think I let him a little bit too much. That focus on Notser, though. I think there's a certain population that enjoys the potential to hunt me or be on my team, and I appreciate that. I really enjoy playing with you guys, but I really want to encourage you, don't try to do something that is going to hurt your team. Whatever you do, don't try to hurt your team. I really don't want to hear that a player did something absolutely crazy just to try and get a kill on me or be in an area that I was operating in versus doing what is the right thing for your team. That's all I ask. I really appreciate that maybe the right thing is to kill you, Notser. You're pretty aggressive. Then absolutely go all in. Don't have any mercy whatsoever. Take me out. But if I'm operating in the back, there really shouldn't be people firing on me when there's so many other teammates that are forward, and maybe they're putting pressure on friendlies over by B point. We do lose a friendly battleship who was far forward, and there's an enemy battleship that is far forward, and I would like to focus on it. Nobody has captured C point, but we don't really have to. There's no reason to risk the ship. Just play intelligently. And intelligent, to me, is punishing a ship that maybe is pushing forward too quickly. I see that there's an enemy cruiser in the background. The enemy Iowa is sort of pausing behind that island. I can't really fire on him. Instead, I decide to fire on the cruiser, hoping that I can get free damage on him. Maybe he's not expecting it. And if we can, oh, 5,000. Just a completely different game, right? The previous game, the enemy is coming very close to us. I'm sort of the most far forward battleship on my team now. I do want to engage the enemy Iowa, but I want to use that island to my advantage. And I have about 3 friendly ships that are behind an island. They cannot participate right now. And he's going to be looking at us. Yes, he is. Set up at the waterline. Try and angle towards him. I'm turning starboard very quickly. We get a citadel. 23,000. Here comes the shot. Angle, angle, angle. We got so lucky. A couple more degrees, and he is penetrating, doing massive damage. I don't know what caused him to pause for 2 or 3 seconds, but it cost him a lot of damage, and he's gonna die. He's just way too far behind in health. So I take my time, I set up on the shot. I'm gonna fire 2, probably didn't need to. In fact, I didn't. The first shell made contact and citadeled him, but at least he's dead. Enemy destroyer is on my western flank, and I don't like that. He's popping his smoke. Oh, it's unfortunate for you, though, because I have radar, and I have friendlies in the area. And, oh man, he's firing his main guns at me. That tells me He's probably going to send torpedoes my way. Or he would love to send torpedoes my way. I lead in reverse. It's not enough to kill him. Friendlies do get the kill. And any second now, here come torpedoes. Yep. He thought we were going to move forward. Instead, we broke towards the port side and avoided all the torpedoes. You need to change your momentum in a battleship. You can't just sit there and do the expected thing. And I did not expect to get a citadel with that shot. We got lucky. 13,000. The enemy cruiser has torpedoes. 10-kilometer range. I don't want to stay here because he could send his torpedoes at me. Front two guns are ready to go. I just want to wait for him to break. And it looks like he is softening his angle. This should go in. It should be good. It is good. 17,000. People are so predictable. He could have moved forward, but he was afraid of the battleships behind me. So he actually softened his angle just enough that the citadel was much easier for me to envision. And we were able to get it. He had to try and get behind the island that was just south of his position. Enemy Mogami is firing on me, and I want to fire at him behind the island. Also, enemy torpedo bombers are in the area, and we should... Notser, we should have set it as a primary. Ooh, we get a citadel, and we take out the enemy Mogami. He stood around just a little bit too much. And the team's doing pretty good. We have a huge advantage over the enemy team. It really can't be much better. I'm going to try and get this Tirpitz in a 2v1 situation. He's going to be showing his side, and I think he's aware of that. I think he's going to sit behind the island. Worst case scenario, I get into the area, I assist in his destruction, or at the very least, I make him consider doing something different, and we capture a point from the enemy team. It looks like everyone else on the enemy team is on the eastern side of the map, although there is an unknown battleship that was last seen on the western flank. And I'm kind of frustrated by the Tirpitz. How dare you understand that there was a battleship on an intercept course? You should just blindly come around the island and take the massive 406mm guns. Come on! And it looks like that battleship went super passive. Look how far back he is. That is what I would not do. You can't go super passive. When you go super passive, your team just can't rely on you to tank damage or attention or be able to take out a target that is hugely dangerous to them. We lose a friendly to a flood. The friendly Iowa, that's unfortunate. He is a top tier just like me. And that Tirpitz, oh, come on, Tirpitz. I know you can see me. I know my commander isn't ideal, but I just want to kill you. And the friendly Tirpitz is trying to get in range of his torpedoes. And okay, how many enemy torpedoes are going to hit? 1, 2, 3. Oh, all 4 enemy torpedoes hit. Well, that's just great. Now, keep in mind, he used his starboard side torpedoes. The friendly torpedoes hit 3 of his 4. And unfortunately, we lose the friendly. The enemy Tirpitz, he's either flooding out or he's on fire. I don't know what it is. I don't want him to go around the island, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. I think he feels me, and yeah, I think he's just rotating back, and he's just south of the island right now. I could use radar, and I'm contemplating it, of course. He sends out his aircraft. Oh, he's just so close. He's so close to that edge. Look at where that aircraft came out of. Oh, man. He's going to flood out. He's going to flood out. I don't need to do anything. And that worked out pretty well for my teammate. Well, it could have been better. But at least they both killed each other. I don't think he could have dropped torpedoes. I don't feel the torpedoes. The friendlies are sort of... they're sort of broken up. They don't really know what they're doing. Either they're going to push towards the North Carolina, or they're going to try and push towards the enemy team on the eastern side of the map. It looks like we've lost a couple friendlies, and I have a cruiser that is backing me up. I intend to fight the North Carolina, the passive North Carolina. And there's another friendly. Great. This game is becoming a lot closer than it should be. And I'm not going to be able to capture this because the North Carolina is coming around that island. So, how do we engage the North Carolina? and make sure that we get lucky and he shows a perfect broadside, of course. So I depress the gun, hoping that he will try and cover that distance. We get 18,000 for the first salvo. He's still ahead, but I do have a cruiser in the area as well. His salvo doesn't really do as much. Doesn't really do as much at all. And it looks like he either wants to ram me or he wants to joust me. And I'm okay with either one. And this is what would tell me he intends to ram. He's sailing directly at my ship. He's got his bow ready to go. Probably should have fired. It was awful damage. He's going to be able to do way more damage. And I can just... well, I absorbed it on my nose. Okay. I just don't want to ram. I don't want the ram to happen. I feel confident that I'm going to beat him. So, if you think you can win, don't ram. If you know you can't, ram. Try and angle and fire at the correct speed, but I just can't have the turrets rotate fast enough. They just can't rotate. Ah, it's so frustrating. I completely misplayed that. I did get the back gun, but the front guns were not angled correctly. Whenever you're jousting, you need to set up with an expected path that the enemy's going to take and have your guns pointed there, ready to go, because they just can't rotate fast enough. Now, as he moved back from me, I elevate the gun, going for the superstructure. And I probably set my ship showing a little bit too much side, and ooh, 15,000 points of damage done. Huge mistake by me. More huge mistake, 14,000 points of damage done. Just the worst possible location. Either continue rotating behind him or rotate away. Don't just keep a flat side, Notser. But he is showing way too much side, and this should be the kill shot. I fire my front two guns, and we finish off the target, a very low health target. We lose a friendly on the eastern side of the map, and this is a lot closer than I want it to be. The enemy aircraft carrier is doing a great job. And look at who is up on the enemy team. It's the division. It's 3 players in the same division. They're working very closely together. In order to beat them, I need to make sure that we cover all bases. We capture A point, we maintain control over B point, we don't play stupid, and we try and enhance each other by being close together. The Baltimore, thankfully, has great AA protection. I have great AA protection, and the enemy gets torpedoed, so the enemy battleship is gone. They've lost their health. They don't have any tankiness left. If I can find a way to take out the Burgundy, we should be home free. And the Baltimore definitely is protecting me. I appreciate a Baltimore. If he doesn't watch, it's always good to thank your teammates. You should always try and do that. Especially after how bad I played that North Carolina. If I was in a jousting, again, set up the target so the guns are pointed predictably, and of course the enemy is attacking. I set it as my primary. I'm trying to turn. I'm trying to rotate as best as I can, and I'm also trying to swap the manual target every single time I get lucky. I avoid the first torpedo. I don't avoid the second. We only get one torpedo to hit us. Oh, don't let the dive bombs get us. We've got to hit the dive bombs. Kill them, kill them. It's so tense. If I take a dive bomb, a significant dive bomb, oh, he missed. The Baltimore's defensive fire is doing work. Did he drop both? I think he dropped both. We got so lucky. We got so lucky. If I would have taken another torpedo, I would have been dead. Enemy Burgundy out in the open. We're going to take you out, Mr. Ron. And I try and elevate the gun. It looks like he's moving away a little bit. I don't think I'm going to hit him, though. It's a long shot. And yeah, he kept turning. Complete miss. But the enemy team has to make the play. We don't have to make the play. If we continue to fail, we're going to win the game. Because they've got to make up twice the amount of points that we've accrued over the course of the game. Since we had B point, we've never lost it. And we captured A point. We denied that source of income for them as well. And we're one ship up. So the enemy team is in a real pickle, and I don't think they have the ability to come back. Of course, I'm not going to let them come back. I'm going to do everything I can to take out the cruiser and then take out the aircraft carrier that is hiding as far away as he possibly can be. And as I'm rounding the island, the enemy is not aware of exactly where I am located, which is good. It's always nice to be able to have the element of surprise, Notser. Yes, that's what the American battleships do, especially at high tier. And is he going to soften up? He's got to avoid a torpedo strike. And he is indeed softening. So I assume at this point he will be completely flat. But he recognizes it. He slows down and he turns into it. And we only get 7,100 points of damage done. Can the friendly aircraft carrier punish the softening of the angle to avoid my shot? And it looks like he's trying to do it, but my friendly still has a lot of torpedo bombers up. He hits one torpedo, he sets up a sandwich. I've got my shells ready to go. I'm trying to make sure I can hit beyond the island, and I don't want to run into the island, of course. That would be funny. He puts 2 fires on my ship. I really don't have an... Ah, yes, we got the target. I've got to put the fires out. I'm going to die. So I put the fires out. We earn Kraken Unleashed, Confederate, and there's only 50 seconds left in the match. And I would have definitely been dead if I wouldn't have avoided that torpedo from the previous torpedo bomber. It was so close to hitting my ship.
Problem solved, sir.
What might have been, if I die, and the Baltimore has to go against the Burgundy, maybe the Baltimore is able to take him out. Maybe not. Maybe the Baltimore has to deal with the dive bombers. Who knows, right? There's so many things that could have happened. I'm going to assume that the friendly aircraft carrier could have dealt with it either way. He was doing a good job, at least maintaining a healthy ship and just using the lead that we already had to our advantage. And here's the culprit. He's moving into range. He looks sluggish, so I'm just going to fire close to his target. Don't know that the shells are even going to get there. And absolutely not. They're not getting there. And there was a lot of mistakes by me, but I'm not afraid to show you those mistakes. I just hope that you understand when they were made and what you should do. But we still got a lot of income from this game. We did Confederate, I believe Arsonist, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed, 5 kills, 2,619 base XP. Again, what's the deal with the low-scoring guys? And yeah, I complimented my Baltimore. He did a good job. He protected me. It's because of him I'm alive. Most of my damage, in fact, 99% of my damage, main battery AP. Big surprise, right? And they shot about 2 million points worth of damage at us. Not bad. I hope you enjoyed both of these games. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.